really consider this as my second home, and Ron Jones and Kathleen as one of my grandparents. They have just helped me with so many different things, not just dance-wise, but life things as well, and given me so many opportunities that many places or people would not even give you or even consider.
The girl that we selected, that we cast for Alice, is a beautiful redhead. Her job is, her responsibility is to take the audience into Wonderland, and they will experience Wonderland as she experiences it. So she has quite a big job ahead of her, and we think we've picked just the right dancer to do that. I'm Ron Jones, Artistic Director at the Columbia County Ballet.
Mr. Jones, would you give me a brief summary of what it takes to create a ballet?
Yes, it takes an idea. Takes music, a choreographer, somebody to make up the dances. It takes dancers. They're going to need costumes and makeup and sometimes props. Like in the ballet Alice, there are many props, some really cool looking props. Scenery has to be built. Sometimes it has to be rented. Somebody needs to sell the tickets. You're going to need an audience. You're going to need to rent a theater. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of money involved in putting together a ballet. 5 years ago, my wife Kathleen had an idea that when she read about the Imperial Theater's Capital Campaign Fund and the renovations that they are doing as they approach their 100th anniversary, 100th birthday actually, and she recommended that we consider taking a production in each year up until the 100th anniversary, and whatever monies came in through ticket sales would pay for the expenses of renting the Imperial and hiring their staff, but also would pay for, would put money in their capital campaign fund so they could apply it to renovations. And we've been able to do that successfully for the last 5 years, last 4 years, and this is our 5th year now with Alice, so that's what we're looking to do.
Corey Polhill, she is so positive for her age. She's only 14, and she comes in the class and really just takes lead in the classroom and is a really good example for the younger ones.
Michael Viator came to us as a young boy. Dancing made sense to him. It made sense to him aesthetically. It made sense to him physically. He developed from a dance student into a member of our dance company. He also became an instructor. He went through our instructor training program and became a very valued instructor at the school. And he began to create dances, and I was watching the things that he was doing, the music he was using. It was quite uncanny the way he connected to the music and the effect theatrically of his dances. So he has become quite a choreographer to be dealt with, and this is Alice marks the premiere of his first full-length story ballet. We're very excited about it.
So, the very beginning of that scene, you see that this one right here. Right here, yes. We are doing that thing kind of like, so she'll go in the door, and the lights will kind of go on, because they actually won't be on stage, because they'll have to yank it for you. So they're just running across and going to the other wing, and then someone can help them yank it. So it breaks it. And then I can't remember exactly the age, but I believe it was around age 14 when I created my first ballet called Freedom.
Egyptians. Is it Egyptian? Just to clarify some stuff, get them back on track.
Well, it looks good. I mean, it really does look good. Y'all are doing great. One thing though that I do have to say is even though some of you are unsure, I mean, y'all have been out, start working on your faces now. Because when you're on stage and you don't know what you're doing, because you can't reach that point, your faces have to, and I know Mr. Ron's been cleaning with y'all, so really start working on your face.
Oh my goodness, what could I share about Michael? He's a wonderful young man. We're so excited about his future, and we know after watching him grow up since he was 9, and he's now, I think, a ripe old age of 22, that he has really grown and blossomed into this wonderful choreographer. And when he goes to Ballet Magnificat at the end of this performance, we will miss him. We'll give him congratulations, job well done.
I think it'll be fine. As long as like I pull it down before. Well, don't you do a big
She is so much fun to work with. We laugh and cut up all the time.
No.
That fits, baby girl.
Yes, it does. And the drawstrings are for right here. If this is too loose under her arms, you can pull the drawstrings and make that tighter.
That's amazing. Is it better to start at the top or at the bottom?
Yeah. Well, whatever. I think it's. But you can move the sides if it needs to be tighter.
There's so many things that are involved in it. I mean, things that you don't see out in front. You see the finished product, the audience does. But what has gone on backstage has been phenomenal. That all of the help and support that we've had from our parents, and with the costuming and the sets, everything. I can't even. And our stage manager, who's taken on so many parts of this, and all of our crew. It literally takes a village of people to put on a ballet, and what you see as a finished product was the work of many, many people.
This is not me go home and say, Mom, I have to
Mr. Ron contacted me and asked me if I would like to head up the wonderful task of doing Alice in Wonderland, and if I thought it was actually a doable thing to do in a short amount of time.
Hey guys, remember this right here? Have a text. Begin.
Gabe is a wonderful dancer, and he just has so many really cool ideas that I can feed off of when he comes into rehearsal. He's always willing to try new things and getting me to get out of my box.
Have the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter, of course, is mad, and he's danced by Gabriel Hughes, who will be partnering Alice in a very tender part of the Alice sees something more than just his madness, and makes for a beautiful scene.
He partners so well. I love watching him partner, and I just learned so much from him. I cannot wait until y'all see him as the Mad Hatter. as I was, really just thinking and brainstorming on Alice, I knew I wanted the story to be different. So I was trying to think of, the character of Alice I wanted to portray. First people that came to mind was Gracie Hill, and I just knew that she would be the perfect person to do it, even though I went back and forth with different people, but I just kept on coming back to her. And even though she doesn't have blonde hair, she has beautiful red hair. I just knew she would be the perfect person, and she's just amazing at it. I love working with the dancers and teaching them. Yes, it can be stressful at some times for the dancer and for me as the choreographer, but we all have a fun time, and that's the main thing.
Then we have the Caterpillar, which is being danced by Justice Alicia, and he's quite suave and debonair and a little seductive in his movement and his demeanor. We have Lady Magnolia, who greets Alice when she first comes into Wonderland, and she's being danced by Anna. Alice is being danced by Gracie Hill, by the way. Lady Magnolia is being danced by Anna Moldovan, and she is a beautiful porcelain-like beauty with a very gentle, what am I trying to say, aristocratic air about her. The Cheshire Cat, she's dazzling. She's being danced by one of our most proficient dancers, Kelsey Walker.
Yes, as I casted Kelsey as the Cheshire Cat, we started doing rehearsals and stuff. The character kind of started to mold as she would start to do different things. Kelsey is very theatrical. She's willing to try new things.
Ensemble does some of the strongest group dances are some of the strongest that there are. Powerful movements. The stamina is remarkable to me. So I'm looking forward to the production.
I love doing things different. I love exciting things. I love things that are just gonna make people get on the edge of their seat when they watch it.
Queen, our Queen of Hearts, danced by Corey Polhill. And she's quite young to be doing this role, but she's becoming quite a powerhouse among our ranks. I didn't mention our White Rabbit by Clay Waddell, and he's just a natural. He's a young boy, but he's just a natural on stage. Some people just take to the stage, and Clay is one of those.
Oh, one last thing. How amazing is the infamous executive director, Jessica Hughes, we've all heard countless tales about?
Well, let me tell you, this show would not be going on without her. She has been at that desk, that computer, from day one, helping and making sure everything is organized and staying connected between all the departments, the costume, the props, the sets, and the dance part of it, creating the schedule, and she's just been phenomenal. But she really is getting on my nerves with having to do this interview. So, like...
In the end, we love you, Jessica Hughes.